Good morning, SKN. I'm Jamie Morris.
And I'm Cortensia Carty.
Well, apparently it is episode 233. 232. I don't know why I'm saying 233. Maybe I'm anticipating tomorrow.
Ooh,
is that it?
Already anticipating tomorrow, I see.
Do we have something special tomorrow? I don't know.
I don't know.
Usually, maybe, hey, you guys will be surprised with us. In any event, it's episode 232.
Yes.
Can't believe we're here. That's great. And we're glad that you've joined us.
Yes. And continue to join us as we say we have lots of giveaway for the month of December. But we begin this morning by giving you the local news. The first story comes from Win Media. Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley, announced that the Nevis Island Assembly elections would be held on December the 12th. Premier Brantley, leader of the incumbent Concerned Citizens Movement, CCM, announced this during a 20-minute address to the nation on November the 24th. Premier Brantley said in court, against this backdrop of performance touching every single sector of our society and quality leadership that our islands have enjoyed, I have today advised His Excellency, the Governor-General, Sir S. Tapley Seaton, after consultation with the Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Terence Drew, that the Nevis Island Administration should be dissolved as of Friday, the 25th of November 2022. Nomination day for the election of representatives to the Nevis Island Assembly shall be Monday, December the 5th, 2022. Election day on the island of Nevis shall be Monday, December the 12th, 2022. End quote. Brantley continued, end quote, I urge you, brothers and sisters, to engage in the process, to listen to the issues, and to make your vote count for the continued development and advancement of this land called Nevis that we are all privileged to call our home, end quote. 3 parties are vying for the 5 seats on Nevis and control of the Nevis Island Assembly: the Concerned Citizens Movement, the main opposition in the Nevis Reformation Party, and the newest party on the island, the Moral Restoration Movement. So congrats to all concerned, and may the best party win.
I'm going to say that's a pun, all concerned. In any event, we're moving on to our second story. This is from SKNIS. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education and Youth Empowerment, the Honorable Dr. Jeffrey Hanley, has expressed his pleasure with St. Kitts and Antigua and Barbuda youth parliamentarians' exceptional level of debate in the federal parliament in St. Kitts on November 25th, 2022. An 8-person contingent from the National Youth Parliament Association of Antigua and Barbuda, the NYPAAB, participated in the inaugural sitting of a joint youth assembly with the St. Kitts National Youth Parliament Association, SKNYPA, or SKNYPA. This event forms part of the Youth Month activities organized by the St. Kitts Department of Youth Empowerment. The Youth Empowerment Minister said, quote, I am very pleased this morning to be sitting in Parliament listening to the level of debates that have been going on thus far, and it is even more touching when you recognize that there is an integration of another country participating in today's debate. It is, in fact, heartwarming because as you listened to the youth parliamentarians, you recognize that although we are a different country, the problems are almost similar, end quote. During the sitting, 3 legislative items were tabled and passed. These are the Age of Majority Amendment Bill 2022, a resolution to commission a Health Investigatory Select Committee, as well as a resolution to promote integrity and efficiency within the civil service. It's very high levels of debate, apparently.
Yeah, as I say, our future are in good hands. You think, right?
Well, the future's now, so hey, future's definitely in good hands.
I don't know why he don't allow me to be great. We continue now. Greater action and awareness needed for gender-based violence, says Junior Minister Philip. This from SKNIS. Nationals and residents of St. Kitts and Nevis are strongly encouraged to speak out and stand up against all forms of gender-based violence. Awareness about gender-based violence comes even more into focus from November the 25th to December 10th, when the world marks 16 days of activism against gender-based violence against women and girls. Junior Minister responsible for Social Development and Gender Affairs, the Honorable Iseline Phillip, is among the national leaders bringing greater awareness to the global observance and local commemoration. She made a national address on Friday, November 25th, 2022, to mark the start of the 16-day observance. The junior minister stated, citing recent global estimates, and quote, violence against women and girls is considered the most widespread and pervasive human rights violation worldwide. In fact, 1 in 3 women and girls have been affected by some form of physical, sexual, financial, or emotional violence in their lives. In St. Kitts alone, during the pandemic, reports of domestic violence increased by over 400%. End quote. Persons were encouraged to wear orange during the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. The color symbolizes the international commemoration which aims to achieve a future free from violence against females. Wow, 400% we say.
Yeah. And fortunately, well, we had this discussion before. Fortunately, there were reports made, and that's the thing. So I'm grateful that there are.
Yeah, people are speaking up now.
Yeah, there are reports made. All right, moving on to a check of our local weather. It's going to be mostly sunny with a high of 83 degrees and a low of 76 degrees. Yeah. All right, at least it's going to be a cool one later in the afternoon.
Yeah. It rained just now. I didn't even realize.
Yes, as I was on my way to work early as usual, by the way. You had to let it out, Cortensia. Why are you,
I didn't say
laughing?
anything. You let the cat out of the bag. I didn't say
Your
a
reaction
thing.
did. I could be convincing in any event. It is 80 degrees currently. Take a look at your hourly and weekly forecast as we head to a break. We'll be back in a flash.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We continue with the latest in regional news. This from Loop Caribbean. Barbados has signed a 2-year country implementation plan, CIP, with the United Nations Development System that will guide the planning and implementation of country-specific UN development activities under the umbrella of the UN's 5-year regional multi-country sustainable development cooperation framework, MSDCF. The CIP will operationalize the outcomes of the MSDCF at the country level in fulfillment of the government's national priorities and pursuit of the 2030 Agenda. UN Resident Coordinator for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, Didier Trebuch, and Minister in the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, Ryan Strawn, signed the accord on Friday at UN House during a ceremony to launch a new UN joint program for Barbados and Montserrat. Addressing the signing ceremony, Trebuch said that he was pleased to sign the 2022-2023 CIP for Barbados since he believes that under the aegis of broader 5-year regional cooperation framework, the association 2-year agreement would provide a very comprehensive roadmap to deliver on the commitment and support of the United Nations as a whole towards Barbados' national priorities and the SDGs.
I really hope we get these SDGs completed by 2030, although they say it looks a bit unlikely because we are behind. I really hope we complete them. I really hope we see the importance and work towards them.
Good point. I have nothing to add. Very good point.
We continue now with international news. Camilla scraps ladies in waiting in modernizing move. This from the BBC. Camilla, the Queen Consort, is ending the tradition of having ladies in waiting, but instead will be helped by the Queen companions. As well as modernizing the title, the 6-woman assistant will be less regularly in attendance than the previous role required. Unlike the ladies in waiting, this slimmed-down role will not involve correspondence or administration. Replacing the role of lady in waiting will end a feature of court life going back to the Middle Ages. With such close personal helpers of a queen often coming from aristocratic families and over the centuries, sometimes caught up in court intrigue. The new companions will be more occasional and an informal position supporting the Queen Consort at official engagements and not involved in replying to letters or day-to-day planning. This symbolic change of direction will be put into practice next week when the Queen Consort hosts a reception for campaigners against domestic violence and violence against women. Let's work for the companions, because I can no longer say ladies in waiting.
I didn't even know that there were ladies in waiting, so this was news to me, and that's
I guess because you don't follow stuff like
precisely. I'm not really into the royals, so I guess I'm one of a few. I guess you are. In any event, that's...
No.
Go
I
ahead.
have a cousin that lives in the UK, so on the weekends when we call, she's always keeping me updated, so that's why I know.
Oh, well, okay, that makes
Wink,
sense.
wink.
That makes a whole lot of sense. All right, well, there you have it for the latest for today. We should have a very interesting show lined up for
Yes.
you. We'll tell you more about it in a moment. Stay tuned.
Hey, my friend, what going on?
Not a thing. I just here cooling under this tree, about to eat a mango or two.
Where you get mango from all now?
Boy, Auntie Rose bring me some mango this morning.
Oh, gosh. What you hit me for?
You give me something to put on?
Girl, you can't just come tempting me with these juicy round pally mangoes and expect me not to want some.
Just because something looks appealing and you want it, doesn't mean you are entitled to it and that you should touch or take it. Your mother ain't teach you manners. Ask for consent first before you touch up the mango them.
But why ask? And if it's dear, it's dear. Just take it. Why ask?
Simple. If it is mine and you ain't asked for it, it is called, wait for it, stealing.
That's true. My bad. Okay. May I please have some mangoes?
I don't know. After that spectacle, I ain't sure I want to give you any.
You see that? But I ask.
Just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give. It is still my mangoes.
So what you tell me ask for then?
Because consent is everything. Had you asked first, I would have been more inclined to give you one. And just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give you. You got it?
Okay. I got it. Now, may I please have some mangoes?
Only because you're my friend and I like you. But that still don't mean you're entitled to it.
Okay, I get it. I get it.
Good. Don't leave your mango skin on the ground, eh?
If you understand the importance of asking for someone's consent for a mango, then it shouldn't be too hard to understand consent when it comes to sex. The power of consent is everything. Ask first. If you or a friend has been sexually assaulted, please call 465-5000 for the counseling center.
This message was brought to you by No Judgment SKN and sponsored by the Basic Needs Trust Fund, the Department of Gender Affairs, and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. As you can see, I've got my paper, I've got my tools, I've got my pencil, and you might be wondering why. Well, we'll tell you in a moment. So at some point in life, we all must learn to accept that not everyone will agree with our opinions, and to test how well Hortensia and I have learned this lesson, we will be discussing, like we do every day, our differing opinions, but this time in a hopefully formal manner by engaging in a debate. So here's the structure. We will have 2 minutes to prepare our structured argument, including an introduction, 3 supporting points, and a conclusion. Wow, all of this in 2 minutes.
Wow.
Awesome. This will be done during a brief commercial break. Well, you know what? You don't have to sell me on brief because I do believe it is. Then when we return, we will each have 3 minutes to deliver our arguments. I love this. So we have less time to prep than we do to deliver. I hope you can bluff. Once we have done so, we will get 1 minute to refute our opponent's arguments. The debate topic for today is dogs are better pets than cats. Why are you writing? I'm sorry, what's going on here? Did we say go?
No, I just have to write it down because I might forget.
All right, so here we go. To decide who will be the proponent or opponent of the debate topic, we will play a rock, paper, scissors game. Okay, this is good. So the winner decides whether they are for or against. Now, I can't possibly play rock, paper, scissors with this, so let's see.
Wait.
How about I pick one? This could be my rock.
No.
This could be my paper, and this could be my scissors.
Put everything down. Let's go.
You want me to drop everything? I see.
No.
To debate you.
He
Okay,
has
let's go.
contract insurance. He'll be fine.
I wish.
Oh, wait, how does it go? Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, so you got it.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you going to do? Go first or proponent or opponent?
I'm going to be the opponent.
So you're going to argue that dogs are not better pets than cats.
No, then I'll go with the first one because I don't want to argue that because I know the dogs are better than cats.
Well, we will see.
So I changed my status. I'm going to go first.
So I'm going to argue that dogs are not better pets than cats. Great. And we'll take a quick break and we'll be back with our arguments. So stay tuned.
Hi. If you are a smoker, please pay attention to this message. According to the World Health Organization, there are 1.3 billion smokers in the world today, and tobacco kills 1 out of every 2 smokers. Did you know that there is enough nicotine in 5 cigarettes to kill an average adult if ingested whole? There are more than 7,000 chemicals in tobacco smoke, of which more than 250 are known to be harmful. More than 69 are known to cause cancer, and 16 are classified as Group 1 carcinogens. Smoking kills. Are you ignoring that warning every time you smoke? Please stop. Smoking can lead to severe health complications and even death. It affects almost every organ in the body, especially the lungs and heart. It raises blood pressure, increases blood clots, and increases the risk of stroke, heart attack, and cancer. It is hard to quit smoking, but it is not impossible. Don't let tobacco destroy you. Remember the 4 Ds to curb your tobacco cravings. 1. Delay. Set a time limit before you decide to smoke. 2. Drink water. Go get a drink before you do anything else. 3. Do something else. Have a goodie bag handy of other things to do. And 4. Deep breathing. Take at least 10 deep breaths every time you think about smoking. Quit smoking and live a longer and happier life. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, St. Kitts and Nevis.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. I can see that, Hortensia, you are quite excited about this debate since you chose the topic. Well, to propose the topic, that dogs are better pets than cats. So you have 3 minutes in which to convince the public.
Okay, let me convince the public. So dogs are truly better than cats. There is an age-old saying that dogs are a man's best friend, and we all know that. I happened in my lifetime to have owned 3 dogs. One which got knocked down eventually from running behind cars, and 2 that we had to leave behind once Corona happened in Antigua. Oh, I miss Rex and Charlotte so dearly, but they're okay. So, as I said, dogs are man's best friends. They are gentle creatures once cared for carefully. Dogs can bring you things. They can play on their own. Don't necessarily have to play with them all the time. They can alert you in danger. The dog species have way more species than the cat species. The dog sound is more powerful. And they fight less amongst themselves, and the dogs also know how to give each other personal space. And those are my pros. So, yeah. Are you ready?
I guess I have to be. All right.
Oh my gosh.
So I am proposing that dogs are not better pets than cats. Heathcliff, Tom and Jerry, Tom of the infamous duo Tom and Jerry, Garfield. What do they all have in common? Well, they are cats. But not only that, they were loving. And they don't have to be better than dogs. They can be the same as dogs in the traits that they show. Cats are as loving as dogs. Cats are loyal. Cats like affection and attention, as dogs do, which make them ideal pets or a great substitute if you are not a dog lover, or even if you are. Cats seldom stray. Dogs, however, as we understand, we have this problem with strays in the streets of Bastille, or all around the island. As anyone from Ross University can attest to, we have a problem with stray dogs more so than stray cats, which should tell you that realistically, if you're looking for a pet that will stay by your side, the probability is higher that it will be a cat other than a dog. And take it from me, I have seen the dogs that stray. The dogs move in packs. The dogs invade other people's spaces when they want to go for affection from another dog, who shall remain nameless for the purpose of today's debate. But suffice it to say that I have seen things that I wish my eyes have not seen, and I can't unsee because dogs choose to procreate in a very public way, whereas cats at least wait until the sun goes down. And just, it's great. They mirror the behavior of humans, of their owners, in a way that says that there is that mutual respect. And so while I understand that I do not have to prove that dogs or cats are better than dogs, I simply have to prove that they are at least the same or at least similar. They are. They're not going to wake you up in the middle of the night with a thunderous voice. They're definitely going to kill the lizards in the yard and kill the rats. I never saw a dog do that. So literally, if you have a rodent problem, the probability is also higher that you will get that rodent problem taken care of and save yourself $1 or $2 from calling the exterminator if you have a cat on the premises. Because, hey, as I'm about to say to you, and perhaps it will be coined, when there is a cat, there'll never be a rat. And with that, I say that dogs are not better pets than cats.
Wow. Is it time for the rebuttal? Because I'm ready for you.
I think we have a few minutes to rebut, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
We have 1 minute to prepare. This is so... Okay, I'm going to be quiet.
Please be.
Boy.
Who were your cats that you mentioned when you started? Garfield, Tom, and whom else?
I'm not supposed to be discussing this with you.
No,
You should
because
already take notes.
I couldn't remember your cats for a reason. I only remember 2 of your cats. Okay, I'm trying to remember.
The things that people have to debate in life, my gosh. Is that a meow? Is that a purr? Cortessa?
Never.
Are you purring?
Woof. There must be a doggy in the window. Woof, woof. See, I remember all these things now. I don't like being put on the spot.
Well, at least one of us remembers something. I'm just really
Okay, I'm trying to remember.
I think we have a limited time left, so...
Oui, I'm ready for this.
And are we ready? All right, so I guess I'm the one who's supposed to rebut first.
Yes.
This is so very interesting.
You were already rebutting, you know. What is
No,
that?
I'm not.
What is that on your paper?
Okay, so I'll take it.
What is that on your paper?
Esteemed audience, my opponent has clearly tried to convince you, albeit unsuccessfully, that dogs are better pets than cats. And I say that because the primary theme that she sought to advance in her debate was the fact that dogs are a man's best friend. Well, I suggest that that is simply not the case, because there is nothing in her debate to suggest that dogs are the only best friend that a man can have. As you heard me say before, the only thing that I had to do is to prove that dogs were not better than cats, and I think I did that effectively, because there was no reason advanced as to why dogs are a man's best friend. As a matter of fact, if you were listening to my opponent very carefully, you would often think that perhaps she confused the topic, because the topic that we had to debate was that dogs were better pets than cats, yet my opponent at one point or another said that dogs are better than cats. And so, to be honest with you, I really couldn't tell whether she was understanding the topic as we had to present it. And I do believe that the points that were presented were a bit confusing in that respect, because there was nothing presented to show me in any which way why dogs would be better pets than cats, other than some cliche saying that dogs are a man's best friend. Well, if dogs are a man's best friend, what of the woman? Perhaps that is why, unfortunately, the dog that was in her care got run over by a car, because it was in search of a man to become its best friend and therefore would not be loyal. Because if it was, and it was a good pet, I'm pretty sure it would still be here today. And so, speak of abandonment issues and the 2 animals that were left in Antigua, because they're all best friends. To my opponent, the argument is flawed. I rest my case.
Oh, wow. Okay, the shade was real on that one. So, cats can never be man's best friend. It was Corona, hence my 2 poor dogs being left behind. Only humans were being allowed in at that time, hence my dogs being left behind. So my dogs are very fine. My other dog, my yard mate was told to close the gate because my dog likes to come out and chase cars, okay? And that's something that dogs do for fun. They're not like cats that are boring, you have to play with them or whatever. So that's why my dog got ran over by a car, not a reindeer. I know it's Christmas, but it was a car. Yes, may Anna's soul rest in peace. Now, cats. Not at all. The meows, not working. Imagine you wake up in the middle of the night and you happen to look down at the bottom of your bed and you're startled because you just see these eyes. And for somebody's, because their eyes resemble that of a snake, I'm terrified of snakes, so I don't need a cat around. Cats are lazy. They are bougie and entitled. You have to feed them. You have to change their little box. You have to do everything basically for them. Yes, lazy, bougie animals. Jamie claims that the cat goes out and looks for
your
a
time
mouse.
is up. Your
My time is not up.
Oh, you have one.
You're cheating.
I thought it was.
Jamie
Okay.
says the cat goes out and look for a mouse. Yeah, but not all the times. The bougie and entitled cats just stay up top and be pretty and prissy and wait for the little bell to go and eat their cat food. And not all cats eat rats, okay? And the cats that he mentioned, Tom is mean to Jerry. Garfield is mean to Odie. Tom picks on Spike. Top Cat and his alley friends are always cunning and conniving against each other in the alley. Whilst in the alley, sometimes Tom even is attacked by cats. Come on, dogs don't attack each other. Do you really see how cats fight? They be boxing. Like, cats should be avid boxers. Cats are violent animals. Yes, they so are. And plus, there is dog song. There is no cat song. Meow, no. And as I said, the only person that loves cat is Pepe Le Pew. That's the only person that loves the cat. Pepe Le Pew, the skunk. Now, that should send a very strong message why a dog is a man's best friend. You can bathe a dog,
Your
keep a
time
dog
is
smelling
up,
well.
Hortensia.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Dogs are a man's best friends. Ew, the cats.
I apologize to all of you people designated Pepe Le Pew right now, per Hortensia's statement. All right, so how are we going to get the vote? Who's going to vote on us? Who's going to win this debate? How do we know that? Are we going to ask our viewers to comment?
We should ask GMSKN Nation.
Okay, because you guys are the judges here.
Yes.
Obviously, we can't trust the people in the studio because they're biased one way or the other. They might have dogs, they might have cats, they might actually be neutral.
I'm sure most of us are dog owners. As I said, the only person that loves cats are Pepe Le Pew. Ew.
I love the fact, you know what, I'm not even going to debate your rebuttal. I'm just going to go at a break. So we will be back in a moment with more GMSKN. All right, see you on the other side.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
I eat some veggies for dinner. Let me just check the amount of sodium in this can. Oh no, this is too much. Let me try our next option. They did say it's healthy to consume less salt. This is much better. I am salt smart.
As a hypertensive patient, in my home, I reduce salt intake by not adding salt during the preparation of my food, not having a salt shaker on my table, limiting the consumption of salty snacks, and choosing products with low sodium content. That's why I am salt smart.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
Well, or notice some abnormal growth, finally you get the courage to visit the doctor. You're told you'll need surgery. Dun, dun, dun. This could be alarming for most. Joining us now is Dr. Joy Woodley, General Surgeon, to talk about her work and to offer some advice in the event of any of us has to undergo a surgical procedure. Maybe Jamie will go first. So good morning, Dr. Woodley.
Hi,
Welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Good morning. Thank you for having me this morning. It's a pleasure being here. Nice seeing both of you.
Same here. I'm seeing you in forever, and that's an inside joke with me and Dr. Woodley. So did you always wanted to become a doctor? And what was it that drew you to this field?
Okay. Most instances, persons would say, they had some, orchestrated plan to becoming a doctor, etc. But actually, that wasn't my thing. I just knew I loved using my hands. I also had the capacity to remember a lot, which is, an important aspect of doing medicine and probably many other professions. And something interesting, I had a unique interest in my mother's medicine cabinet. That's where she held all her medications. I don't know if we do it these days, but in most homes, there was a medicine cabinet with everything. I can see it right now with all of her, the Vicks, the Baron, the Alcolather, the glucose, the soft candle. But I was just intrigued by that medicine cabinet and the scents that blended. And once you would have opened that cabinet, that waft came out. Yes. And I was intrigued how paracetamol can remove a pain from your ankle at the same time, remove the pain from your head. So these were the things that got me going. I had a great memory. I loved my mother's medicine cabinet, and I loved using my hands. So now if you fast forward now to my age, you realize that those were the ingredients, actually, in becoming a doctor and now a surgeon. Because I would use all of these three things, basically, and these are what I use in my daily life as a surgeon. So I just took that vein and I went to, the Sandy Point High School, where I did all the sciences. I went on to the sixth form, where I did sciences. And my love, though, was for pharmacology. So as I said to you, some persons would say, you know, I started out, I was opening animals, etc. That wasn't me. I just knew I loved this, I had a passion, but I didn't have a title as yet. So I love pharmacology, then I got a scholarship to go to Cuba to do pharmacology. But guess what? When I got there, all the scholarships had gone. So I then called my parents and said, you know, I'm coming back because I can't do pharmacology. That's what I love. I want to do that. I want to know how, you know, medicines work on the body, what interactions they have inside the body. And my dad said, no, you're not coming back. You're staying there. You are capable of much more. Life is out there for you. Things are limitless. And it was a good teaching moment for me because sometimes we push ourselves in a box thinking that's the only thing we can do when we can do so much more. And my dad said, no, you can do so much more. Life is limitless. There's medicine, there's this. And then I thought about it. I mean, his warning was stern because he said if I came back, you know, I would get cut off, I would get no money, I would get nothing. So I stayed and I decided, okay, I'm going to go into medicine. So as I said, it wasn't anything orchestrated. It was there in the sack of my interest, but because of circumstances, and sometimes we cannot look at circumstances as negative things, but actually as an impetus to get exactly what you want. And once I got into medicine, I never looked back. I loved it.
I'm happy that you're in there.
I loved it. And then when I started doing my rotations, you know, you have to do internal medicine, etc. I did surgery, and that was my aha moment. This is great. It's pragmatic. It made sense. It's sensible. It's stepwise. Instant gratification. And I didn't want to do any other specialty but general surgery.
Really? Okay, so I'm looking at you, I'm listening to everything that you said. Eureka moments are happening for me because I'm like, okay, initially, this is why they call it a medicine cabinet. Never thought that before, so thank you. But when we talk about the fact that you've been practicing medicine for 17 years.
17 years.
What are some of the most rewarding moments for you having to look back on that, knowing, of course, that pharmacology was your initial love?
Mm-hmm. Well, the rewarding moments, there are so many. And one of the things I enjoy about medicine is meeting people at the most vulnerable time of their lives, and then you're able to give them hope, and you actually happen to help them get out of that distressful period or situation that they are going through. Me personally, as a female as well, there are many little 9-year-old joys out there, 10-year-old joys out there looking at me. And I'm the first female general surgeon to have been back in the Federation. So I know somewhere some little girl is looking at me and saying, okay, I can do this. Because let me tell you, when I got back, it wasn't easy being the first female general surgeon because it was unheard of.
So what were some of those difficulties?
The difficulty was just having a female surgeon.
From the public?
From the public and even within the institution. Yeah, from my colleagues, having a female general surgeon because it was never heard of. I'm the first that St. Kitts, in all of St. Kitts' existence, I'm the first female to have been back. So some persons, because I'm a female, they thought, one, I couldn't do the job. I couldn't do it. That's gender-based discrimination.
With all of your training.
With all of my training. And in some instances, there wasn't any proof to say otherwise that I could not do it. But it's just because it was not the norm. I was just marginalized, ostracized. But you know, being from Sandy Point, I'm tough. I just sit down. I had to get that in there. Being from Sandy Point, I'm tough, and I just stood tall, and I knew what I had to do, and I did it. Okay, so that was a great difficulty, not only from my patients, but from within the institution and from my colleagues. That because I was a female, they just automatically thought that I could not do it.
Has that changed somewhat?
It has changed, and it has changed because, and I have to give credit to my patients, it didn't change from the inside, it didn't change from my colleagues. My patients were the one going out there saying, this lady knows what she's doing, she's worth her salt, as we say here in St. Kitts. So I gave a lot of kudos to my patients who are looking, they believed in me when the institution did not, they gave me that opportunity when the institution and my other colleagues did not. They trusted me. One of my first patients, he's a male, and he said to me, I operated on him 2014 Christmas Day, and when he saw me, he was shocked. First of all, I'm a female. Then he said to me, I looked as if I just come from first form. And he just couldn't believe, but guess what? I sat and I spoke with him. And he said, you know what? I've never had a doctor who sat with me, spoke with me, walked me through the process. And then he said, let's go. And up until a day like today, every Christmas he will send me a card. And that's 8-9 years ago.
Wow. A vote of confidence coming from the public.
And that is why I'm so grateful to them, the public, and my patients.
All right, more with Dr. Joy Woodley in a moment. Stay tuned.
These teen boys nowadays get me so upset. I see these teen girls with their big bellies and you want to tell me y'all couldn't protect her and yourself? Come on. Now don't tell me no stupidness about you feel embarrassed about getting a pack of condoms or asking somebody for one. That ain't nothing to be ashamed about. You should be proud that you are making a wise decision, but you still have to abstain from having sex with someone under the age of consent. If your boys are pressuring you to have sex and you don't want to, then don't. You are in charge of your life, not them. I heard another one saying it's sweeter without a condom. But my granny always told me, no glove, no love. So let me tell you something. It's sweeter to have money in your pockets and not have to support a child at that young age. Before I say anything else, the best way to prevent teenage pregnancy is to abstain. In other words, no do it. Let me talk to the big men troubling underage girls.
Why you sleeping with your daughter? You not live clean. Your girl at 16 and your daughter at 13. Two girl a look me, but me no in a that. Big man no deal with back pan back.
You understand where I'm coming from, right?
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We are talking with General Surgeon Dr. Joy Woodley. Dr. Woodley, a very engaging first half, I have to say, and quite frankly, you hit a lot of nails on the head, things that we didn't even expect to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to misconceptions that people have about surgery, that anxiety that they may feel, are there any misconceptions about it?
No, there are not any misconceptions because surgery is an aggression to the body. You're actually insulting the body. So any aggression to the body, it is expected that you're going to have some type of anxiety towards it. What persons don't understand too, that surgery is not just surgery because you have to go to sleep, as we call it. You have to go under anesthesia. And that in itself brings a lot of anxiety because one of the person's most feared outcome would be getting back out. Am I going to wake up? So that is understandable. Surgery is not just the process, it is also after. And persons would want to know, am I going to be good after? So then that again brings along anxiety. So as a doctor, I am fully aware of the different types of anxieties and stress that comes along with surgery. And I try my utmost best to calm my patients, walk them through the process, because when I have a patient whose mind is made up, I am happy. And what we have to realize that as a surgeon, I need to be happy too. And sometimes we forget about the surgeon and we just, as a patient, I'm just thinking about myself. So knowing this, I try my utmost best to speak to my patients about the pre-surgery, the actual surgery, and what happens after surgery. And as doctors, if we take that little 10 minutes and do that, we calm the fears because the fears are real. I don't dismiss my patients' fears. I don't, because I cannot tell you that you're not fearful. I don't. I listen to you. And I sit, I even pull out my computer in my office, go on Google, bring up videos for you, and let you see what's going to happen. And what I find that is interesting, once I explain to my patients what's going to happen, Doc, let's go. Let us go. So the persons who are faithful are normally those persons who don't get a good explanation from their doctors about what's going to happen. And I try my utmost best on a daily basis to reevaluate myself, reevaluate the way I interact with my patients, because the experience, although it is serious, it has to be pleasurable, it has to be a beautiful experience. You know, it's not about me getting in there and getting out. It's not that. It's my patient going in, having a great experience, although it is surgery, coming out, and they're not, after the procedure, they're good. It's not that they're limping, not that, you know, their life has changed. But my main focus is once you would have done the surgery, you would be almost back to normal, perfect. So I speak with my patients all the time, and I think they have appreciated that. And I don't get so much of the anxieties from my patients anymore going into surgery, and I think that comes through education. We go back to that basic thing, educate. Once you know, it takes away the fear.
And compassion too, because, you know, just sitting across from you and understanding how you explain these things, that goes a long way, that human factor.
It does. I mean, my secretary gets vexed with me because I spend a little extra time in my office, and she's calling me. I see that call coming through, like, Dr. Woodley, hurry up, time ticking. We have others out there in the waiting room, but it is important. It's imperative, and I love it. I mean, I was a teacher, so that's part of me. The teaching process. I taught at Sandy Point High School for a year. My mother was a teacher. My brother is a teacher. My uncle is a teacher. So that is in me. So the teaching part about it, about medicine, I totally and thoroughly love.
So you're a general surgeon.
I'm a general surgeon.
How does this differ from other specialties in surgery?
Okay, well, general surgeon or general surgery, it's a big sack, and you can subspecialize. I always believe, and this is probably me being biased, but the general surgeon, in my opinion, is the most complete doctor. We can diagnose, and at the same time, we can treat. I can take you into theater and take it out. Unlike most surgeons, you diagnose, sometimes they're a little deficient in diagnosing, but they can operate, or they can operate, but they're a little deficient in diagnosing. So general surgery, we normally deal with the neck, chest, abdomen, but the subspecialties would be things like ear, nose, and throat, where we have our own now, Dr. Siobhan Henry, where she would just deal with the ear, the nose, and the throat. We have maxillofacial surgery, and we have a maxillofacial surgeon in Nevis. And I'm giving some history here, and we're all females too. We have a maxillofacial surgeon in Nevis, Dr. Veron Brooks. So she deals with just the bones of the face, okay, while Dr. Henry would deal with the ears and the nose and those things. Then we have the orthopedic surgeons, they would deal with the limbs, fractures, broken bones, etc., etc. So surgery, you can go into many subspecialties. We have the vascular surgeon, and we have a vascular surgeon here from Cuba, Dr. Coquette, who deals with, the diabetic foot, who deals with, poor circulation, etc., etc. But now, in the absence of all of these subspecialties, the general surgeon has to assume most of this work. And that's what I was doing and the other surgeon was doing for the past many years. Okay, there's another subspecialty, which is neurosurgery, which deals with the head and the brain and trauma to the head, etc. So in the absence of a neurosurgeon as well, the general surgeon has to assume these responsibilities. So general surgery, the big sack, and inside of that sack, you can have your subspecialties. In fact, it is said that if you get all of your subspecialties, the general surgeon becomes obsolete. Because then you won't.
Definitely see that.
Well, we need this.
Yes, I have to be honest, they would normally say that. But granted, if we still get all of those subspecialties, we can, specialize more on the abdomen, which I love a lot. And just shortly, I would want to go into what we call laparoscopy surgery, where we do, surgery, minimally invasive surgery from outside. We don't have to do these big cut down on the abdomen. So that is my goal. So if all the other subspecialties want to come, no problem, come ahead. And I will just focus on, my laparoscopy and get moving with that. Okay? So.
All right, very quickly, I want you to tell us about the first foot clinic.
Yeah. No, that is a passion. And again, it seems as if I'm just being thrown into things that I haven't thought about. Because when I got back home in 2014, my passion was laparoscopy, and I wanted to go full into that. But then when I got home, I realized the high incidence of amputations. And I said, there has to be a better way. And I am imploring the young persons who are looking on that sometimes you just have to stop a while and say, hey, let's do things differently. Do not always go with the common thread. Do not always go, downstream because it is easier. And cutting off the foot, it is easier. So then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go upstream. I'm gonna swim upstream. It's gonna be tough, because I know I would be doing it on my own, because what I was presenting wasn't presented before. And our culture is of such that if you haven't seen it before, it cannot be done. So I automatically knew that's what's going to happen. So because the incidence of amputations was so high, I decided I have to do this differently. And I decided I was going to open a foot clinic. It's actually the first foot clinic to be opened in the Federation. And I decided I was going to take some time out, put my love and passion, which is laparoscopy, aside, and I'm going to delve into saving the diabetic foot. And that's where I went. I'm also throwing this out there to my other doctors. Please latch on, because I will be leaving soon from that area. Because we have to stop cutting off feet. And I think I have been successful, that I brought awareness to the foot care, how to take care of the foot. I've applied, cutting edge therapy as it relates to wound healing. I got my patients very much involved. I was able to save some feet that were already on the list for amputations. So, it was well needed. I don't regret putting my passion aside just to do this. I've inspired a lot of other nurses now on the wards, and a lot of other, homes that take care of people about the diabetic foot care. And while I'm on that topic, I would love to give shout out to Miss Leader from the Grange, because she too, when I came back, she was probably the only receptive person to me going upstream as it related to the diabetic foot care. So when she saw me, she latched on, and I latched on to her like, okay, we are friends forever. And we did a lot of work together. She would get new products. She would call me. We would go to the new products. I actually did courses, took my own money, did courses. I went back to Cuba, did courses, because there has to be a better way. And we have saved a lot of feet. A lot of feet we have saved. Okay, so for me, that's diabetic foot care, that's A+ amazing. That's awesome. That's awesome.
So before we go, because as you know, we're strapped for time, how does Joy let, and as you said, this patient said, let us go, so there's a pun in your name.
Okay.
How is self-care for you? What do you do for you?
That's something I had to learn along the way, because we're not taught that. So I have a 14-year-old, and I let her know, hey, every Friday, Saturday, take some time out for yourself. I get her scrubs. We go to the different spas, and because self-care is important. If I don't take care of me, I can't take care of you. And sadly, I learned that late. So that is why we have to start with our younger ones, because it's a culture thing. I don't know. We feel as if sometimes we feel guilty taking care of ourselves, as if we should be in the cane field cutting cane all the time. I don't understand what's going on with us. I don't understand. So self-care for me, it is important. And we have to take time out. We have to say, hey, stop. And what is important, if you have a colleague and you see that colleague is going and probably doesn't notice that he or she needs a time out, we have to do it too for our colleagues and say, hey, you need a time out. Take a break. So self-care is important because it helps me to recharge my batteries. It helps me to internalize. And I love to sit and think about things. Helps me to internalize, am I doing things the correct way? Could I have done it differently? Okay, it helped me realize where I'm deficient, because we're not perfect, I'm deficient. So you need all of this time out and self-care to reflect. So when you come back to your patients, you come back, you know, in a better frame of mind, you come back with better tools, you are now able to diagnose and move faster and help persons more effectively. So the self-care is important. I always push it. Go and get your massages, go and get your feet done, go and get your head massaged, get your hair scraped. These things, you have to pamper yourselves. Get all the senses awakened and going because it helps you. It contributes to longevity. It does.
All right, I'm going to go against the grain here. Nobody look at me. Boss, do not come in here. I'm going to hold you for 30 more seconds. There's just one thing I need to talk to you about before you go, the talk show. For those who want to hear more about it, where can we listen to it? What is it about?
Okay, so the talk show, I mean, I have been on, you know, platforms before, but our talk show right now is Healthwise on ZIZ. It comes on Monday. It's actually done by the St. Kitts Nevis Medical and Dental Association. I'm the president of that association. And I'm the person who like to put my money where my mouth is. I want my patients to be better. And how are they going to be better if I don't educate them? So I use that platform to educate my patients so that they can make healthy and informed decisions about their lives.
Awesome. So if you want to hear more from Dr. Joylette Woodley, not only look at GMSKN, look at this interview on replay. Hopefully we'll have you back, but also
Definitely.
Healthwise. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Likewise. And thank you for having me. Have a great day.
You too. More GMSKN in a flash. Stay tuned.
I need some veggies for dinner. Let me just check the amount of sodium in this can. Oh no, this is too much. Let me try our next option. They did say it's healthy to consume less salt. This is much better. I am salt smart.
Salt is an important part of the human diet, but most of us consume more than we realize.
Cheers.
An exotic experience.
Oh, come here. What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Friday, November 25th, the St. Kitts National Youth Parliament Association and the National Youth Parliament Association of Antigua and Barbuda participated in the inaugural sitting of the Joint Youth Assembly at the National Assembly Chambers at Government Headquarters. Here to tell us about it are Cara Daly, head of the Joint Oversight Committee, and Jalen Monzak, treasurer. Welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Thank you.
All right, so she's the head and you're the one who releases the purse strings. Okay, I get it. It's great to have you here. All right, so we want to talk about the exciting event that just took place.
Indeed.
What were some of the highlights for you?
One of the highlights was the joint youth assembly, which was held on Friday at the National Assembly Chambers, where we debated a number of legislative items, which included the Age of Majority Act, the establishment of a health select committee, and also
promoting efficiency within the civil service through the Integrity and Public Life Act. Yeah.
Did you learn a lot in preparing to present this information?
Yes, of course. Each time SKN does a parliament sit-in, this is not the first parliament sit-in that we've done. This is the first time we've done a joint one, but we usually do one in November, and a lot of preparation happens like months in advance. So for months we've been pondering on the topics that we would need to do. We did a lot of research, we listened on the ground to see what is the conversation right now. And those are some of the topics that we came up with. And there was intensive research done. I was also a debater as well. And I debated on the age of majority, so I have a lot of information in terms of that. So I did learn a lot coming off of that joint sitting. Some other highlights that we had was, of course, the Antiguans, interacting with them. They came in on Wednesday in the afternoon, and we were up at the airport to receive them, and we organized masqueraders and steel pan to welcome them. So it's like just so just seeing everybody just being so excited about that, and even some of the passengers that came off the plane, they were like, oh wow, you know, they enjoyed it. And I know that we did set the trend in terms of those kind of welcoming people to St. Kitts. So I'm sure that somewhere along the line you'll see more masqueraders and more of those things there. And you know, just generally interacting with the Antiguans, they were so amazing, sharing the similarities that we have in terms of problems and finding solutions for just general things like, for example, water shortages. They have water shortages over there, we have it over here. So, you know, that was really great.
yes, and the parliament sitting was just one aspect of the joint agreement between both associations. And it all started when Kamali Mannix was the president of the National Youth Parliament of Antigua and Barbuda. He came to St. Kitts in 2017 for the CPA, the Commonwealth Parliamentary Associations youth parliament sitting. And when he came, he saw what SCN was about, and he wanted to replicate something similar in Antigua, which was like a youth parliament association, which is independent from the government. So he was successful in doing so in 2019, and the NYPAB was launched. And last year, when he was on island, he spoke with the president, which is Mario Knight, to create a joint agreement between both associations. So the agreement calls for joint parliament sittings, joint socials, joint networking, and joint training. And it also calls for a joint committee, which I'm a part of. So the JOC, so the agreement was signed on February 5th, virtually, by virtual means, because we were both in different countries. And the JOC began work since March in planning the sitting. So it's been many months of planning and organizing, and I'm just happy that it came to fruition.
No, I can tell. All right, so you mentioned joint training, Cara. Give us a sense of what that training would look like for you.
Well, different parliamentary procedures, different aspects. So when they came to Ireland on Wednesday, we had a joint training on the Thursday in the National Assembly chambers. So we had training on the integrity in public life legislation, and we also had training on parliamentary procedures, because the parliamentary procedures in St. Kitts differ slightly from that in Antigua. So we had to make sure that we were all on the same page as to what would happen the next day. And different things in terms of public speaking, other, life skills.
Yes, so we have
beneficial to
both organizations have robust training committees. Yes. So the idea is to have that collaboration between the two organizations, as Cara said, in terms of parliamentary procedures, in terms of debating, public speaking, etc. So you have some pictures there. And
I recognize somebody.
And another, just to add another highlight was we did courtesy calls to the ECCB, where we met the deputy governor, and a lot of ideas for collaboration came out. One thing was a regional youth, OECS youth parliament, I think, just involving other youth parliaments across the region. And what we plan as the joint oversight, or the two associations, is to involve other youth parliaments within the region. So, for example, we've already started engagements with Montserrat Youth Parliament. We've started engagements with Anguilla Youth Parliament, and I think there are some other youth parliaments that we are looking at getting involved in this, so that we can foster that regional integration, that cooperation, and that's great stuff.
Yes, and the joint sitting was held in St. Kitts this year for the inaugural one, and next year we're scheduled to go to Antigua. So it would alternate between countries every year.
Yes.
You spoke about integrating with the other islands. Why is it important for you to debate in Parliament on the issues that their country is facing?
Well, firstly, we share some of the same issues, and the more persons that are involved in, say, for example, a debate, gives teeth to what we're trying to bring out with SCN. Especially, what we try to do is raise awareness to certain issues. So, for example, we have the Asian majority where you can be 16 and consent to sex, yet you can't access medical health care, you can't access sexual health care. So we want to raise that awareness, so that those persons listening, in terms of government officials, decision makers, that they can see what is happening there. So being able to involve more people from different organizations, which also have their own path or their own influence in their own communities, it gives greater voice to what we're trying to bring across.
Yes, and individually as well. I mean, if there's small pockets of noises around, if you all come together and make one collective voice, I mean, it makes a greater impact than us being able to make a change.
Definitely so, and I think with the similarities that you guys described, it would be helping to raise awareness in more of a unified way.
Right.
I'm curious to know about any potential interactions that you had with the Deputy Prime Minister after the engagement. Did you have interactions with him? Did he say anything to you about the presentations?
Well, I know that he was at the sit-in. I saw him in the audience, and he was there for quite some time, as well as the youth minister as well, Honorable Iselin Philip. I know that there was just some light interactions, if I can recall. I was debating, so I was just all over the place. But I did see that there were some light interactions, and he interacted with the Antiguans and, welcomed them to St. Kitts. And, Honorable Jeffrey is our founding father. So we do have one of them, so we do have him in our, context. So we do plan to push some of these things even further by, for example, publishing a policy paper to suggest to, for example, the Asian majority that this is something that needs to be done. This is Kanipa's position on this, and lobbying for that. So the interactions with Honorable Jeffrey he usually attends our things. He usually supports us. Regardless, yes, he loves us.
Very proud.
Exactly, his statement expressed that. He was very proud, and the similarities again jumped out. It's like similar problems, Antigua, St. Kitts and Nevis. So I imagine it's going to be the same thing with the OEC estimates you get there.
Right.
So Jill, and I see you were one of those persons who debated. How did they choose who would debate in this parliament? How did your association choose?
Well, firstly, we had to ensure that there was persons from St. Kitts and persons from Antigua. So they would just put out a call to members to ask them if they're interested in being a part of it. And for most of it, we didn't have any difficulties in getting persons. They were just like, okay, I'm willing to do it. So they didn't have to go through any selection process or anything, because they're part of the youth parliament and those kind of things. And then for Antigua, it's the same thing. They would have suggested who they want to bring. What we had would have had representation on the government with a mixture of Antigua and St. Kitts. So it wasn't just like St. Kitts on one side and Antigua on the other side. It was Maurel was the Prime Minister, Prime Minister.
Future Prime Minister already. You guys are the future.
Yeah, he was the Prime Minister, and the Kamali Mannix, the President, was the leader of the opposition, and it was just a mixture. So there was lots of collaboration, cooperation, all kind of things happening there.
And even the clerk and deputy clerk.
Right,
the clerk was from Antigua and the deputy clerk from
St. Kitts, yes.
It's real integration.
And then the night before, the Thursday night before, all of us was at the guest house, and we were there, preparing our speeches, bench meetings. So there was a lot of integration happening.
All right, so we know about the work. We got a little insight into the planning. What about the after party or the engagement? You know there had to be something.
Okay, so immediately following the sitting, we journeyed over to Nevis. So they got a little taste of Nevis life, and we came back to St. Kitts and we had a joint social. So we played board games and interacted.
I really love the Nevis trip. I've gone to Nevis so many years. I'm actually from Nevis. My people are from Nevis, so I would usually go for Culturama. The farthest I would go is Cotton Run, but I actually got to go around the island, and I was so amazed. I was like, wow, we are missing a lot. Like, I don't feel that we appreciate what we have here.
Oh, nice.
It was like, I was mind blown. I was absolutely mind blown. I was like, I didn't know all this happening up in Nevis. I didn't know it was so pretty Nevis. It was like,
and we got to dip our feet in the hot bath as well.
Oh, nice. Every time I go, I try to do that. I love Nevis.
And there's also opportunities for growth, especially within tourism. I don't think that we are capitalizing on the things that we have in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Well, they're listening to you.
They are.
Yeah.
So how great of an impact do you hope functions like this would have on the development of our country?
Okay, that's a very good question. Well, our hope is that anything that we do, whether it is Kanipa or the Youth Parliament of Antigua and Barbuda, that we are listened, that we are heard. So the impact, sometimes, you may not see the impact right now, but at some point in time, if we continue to lobby, we continue to advocate and to talk about these things and bring these issues to the forefront for the lawmakers of today to see, at some point in time, they will understand that this is something that needs to be placed on the table. So we will continue as Kanipa, as a joint oversight youth parliament. We'll continue to do what needs to be done in terms of advocating, in terms of listening, in terms of researching whatever issues, and we'll just continue to be in their faces until we are heard. And I know we will be heard.
Any final thoughts, Kara?
No, I'm just happy that we were able to execute it as planned. I mean, there were a few delays in the planning. We had to push it back a little, by a few months. And, we had to, it was less timing, but we had a jam-packed schedule and tried to get a lot covered during their short visit. And I look forward to next year in Antigua.
Nice. Well, Jamie, I'm happy that I got, our little celebrity here. He's our future Minister of Finance. And I'm happy that I got the pleasure once more to meet our Minister of Foreign Affairs right now. Our future. This is our future. So legislator, government officials of today, take note. Yeah. So thank you guys for coming in. It was indeed our pleasure.
Thank
This is not the last word. We know our little celebrity. Welcome back to GMSK Nation. Stay tuned. Much more after this short break.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
Let me see you shake like earthquake now. Shake. Let me see you shake like earthquake now. Shake. Let me see you shake like earthquake now. Shake. Shake. Drop to the ground and take a little cover under a table or strong furniture. Kneel. Bend your head close to your knees. Hold on to a table leg or desk, please. Hands. Behind your head, protect your neck with your arm. Face away from windows, you must understand. If you don't have a shelter to hang on to, remain in a place till the shaking through now. Shake. Let me see you shake like earthquake now. Shake. Let me see you shake like earthquake now. Drop, cover and hold. Stay in control. Drop, cover and hold. Shake. Let me see you shake like earthquake now. Shake. Let me see you shake like earthquake now. Wave tsunami, wave tsunami, wave tsunami. Move away from doorways, windows and shelves. Heavy objects to drop. You could damage yourself. Cabinet and bookcases may also fall. Light fixtures and objects mounted on the walls. And if caught outside, find an open space. Debris from buildings may fly in your face. Kneel or sit on the ground. Cover your head and remember every word that I say. Shake. Let me see you shake like earthquake now. Shake. Let me see you shake like earthquake now. Drop, cover and hold. Stay in control. Drop, cover and hold. Don't panic. Shake. Let me see you shake like earthquake now. Shake. Let me see you shake like earthquake now. Wave. Tsunami. Wave. Tsunami. Wave. Tsunami. Drop. Everybody now. Drop. I wanna see you now. Cover your head. Cover your head. Drop. Say everybody now. Tsunami. I want you put up all your hands. Tsunami. I want you put up all your flags. Tsunami. Yeah. Tsunami. Yeah. Tsunami. Do not go home without permission. Stay and wait for help and instructions. Do not Go down by the sea to watch the action, just to talk about what has happened. In science lab, chemicals may drop. Exit only after shaking hands up. Do not panic, everything will be fine. Don't use the phone line at this time. Shake, let me see you shake like earthquake now. Shake, let me see you shake like earthquake now. Drop, cover and hold, stay in control. Drop, cover and hold. Don't panic. Shake, let me see you shake like earthquake now. Shake, let me see you shake like earthquake now. Wait, tsunami, wait, tsunami, wait, tsunami.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. It is time for us to loosen up. So today, Jamie and I will be attempting to solve some brain teasers. Play along with us and comment with your guesses. Let us know how you are doing. Oh my God. Jamie, why that smile?
Wow.
Is this a tease already?
Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh. A man is looking at a photograph of someone. His friends ask, "Who is it?" Man replies, "Brothers and sisters, I have none. But that man's father is my father's son." Who was in the photograph?
The man himself.
The man himself?
Yes.
This one is rough. Okay, Jamie said the man himself. I have no clue. I was gonna tempted to say the grandpa. Let's see if Jamie's correct. Ta-da! Jamie got it. I would have said his grandpa, because he says he don't have any brothers and sisters.
His son.
But the man's father is my father's son. Yeah.
Oh, I got it wrong. Yes, I get it now.
But you said son.
No, but I didn't say him. I said the man himself. What it is that he's looking at a picture of his own son. Because I missed the line. In other words, that second to last line.
Okay, I get
man's father is my father's son. I only read one father into it.
Oh, okay. The man's father is my father.
Okay, so that makes sense.
So who is the photographer? His son. Oh, he took a selfie.
No, not himself. His son.
We're having it.
You're still not getting it.
Job polish herb. What? Job. What is this? What is special about these words? Job polish herb. Job polish. Is it polish or polish? Polish. Spa.
I don't have any guesses here. I really don't.
Spa technician. A masseuse. They are pronounced differently when the first letter is capitalized. Job.
Oh, well, now you know.
Herb.
Excuse me.
So herb is herb. Polish is Polish. And job is Job. I don't know.
Perhaps that's it.
What?
I think that's it. That's it.
Debating about dogs being man's best friend has made me a little smarter today. I didn't just say that. Remember, I make a lot of jokes on myself. Don't take me seriously. Wow. Okay. Well, we can guess that if they were capitalized, they would have sounded differently.
Yeah.
I was just putting them together to form a profession. Yeah. Honestly.
Speaking of dogs, Cortense.
A man's best friend.
A man stands on one side of a river, his dog on the other. The man calls his dog, who immediately crosses the river without getting wet and without using a bridge or a boat. How did the dog do it?
He jumped. The dog had to jump. You see? Man's best friend. He went over the river.
I don't know. This one has got me thinking.
He could have jumped, or he could have been on the same side of the river with the guy. How about that?
No, but that's what they're saying. One side of the river, his dog on the other, so they're on opposite
I'm
sides.
trying to ignore some of the work.
Oh, I see. I see. We'll see how that works.
I would say he jumped because the man calls his dog, who immediately crosses the river without getting wet, without using a bridge or a boat.
Hang on. Look at the sentence. The man calls his dog, who immediately crosses the river.
Without getting wet.
Did the dog do it?
I think the dog jumped.
Are you sure it's the dog? Who?
How did the dog
So the
do
dog.
it?
Okay, I'm reading that as though the dog is the one who immediately crosses the river.
Yeah. Unless the guy comes across.
Well, that's the other thing.
But then
Does that make
no.
sense?
It clearly says
Structurally,
at
no?
the end, how did the dog do it?
Perhaps he didn't. Anyway, I don't know anymore.
He
Let's just get the answer.
jumped.
I would say that.
He couldn't fly, the river was frozen. Well, I'm just hurt. Because nobody told me this was an Alaska riddle.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
This must have been an Alaskan riddle. He slid across.
I guess.
This forest.
The river was frozen.
The river was frozen. There's me saying he jumped. He could have been like a serious athletic dog
Wow.
because the dog that was put up there looks like, you remember
Yeah.
Lassie? Yeah, looks like a
I see. The river was
German
frozen.
Shepherd.
That's how he got across.
Yeah, he got it. Oh, wow. 10 years old, 15 years old. Oh? Ooh. In 1990, a person is 15 years old. In 1995, that same person is 10 years old? How can this be?
I don't know. You tell me. I am not even going to guess here.
No, this is what I'm trying to think here.
I am not even going to do it.
When this riddle came up, did you see my mouth? Oh my gosh. Thank God I have teeth.
That's that same person
Like, what?
is 10 years old.
Wait, we have to figure this out. 1990, 15, 1995.
Yeah, not going to happen. Not going to happen. I'm not even prepared to answer this
They
one.
cut. Oh gosh.
You want to answer it?
Because they're born on the same. No, it's the same person. my
Yes, it's the same
I was just
person.
gonna
but
say
That's
that
it.
is the same person. Oh, is this reverse aging? Because I heard in Ethiopia it's 2015. I want to go.
This is impossible, right?
My monthly laugh. Oh my gosh. Before Christ.
Oh, and we're assuming that that person is still alive.
Yeah, my monthly. They live in Ethiopia. Because I heard in Ethiopia it's 2015. Do you believe that? I was like, that can't be real. Is it? Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah.
Let's keep going with the
Oh,
brain
Lord.
teasers. I'm almost afraid to
These
say.
are really brain teasers.
I'm almost afraid to say.
Wow. Sundial has the fewest moving parts of any timepiece. Which has the most? Clock?
Grandfather clock. I don't know. I'm
Maybe
just
it's
saying that.
grandfather clock because it has the tongue for the tail.
Big
or
Ben.
whatever.
I really don't know.
Hmm.
Okay, that makes sense. That actually makes sense.
Hourglass. Oh man. Oh, another talk.
Yeah.
Hourglass, yeah.
Thinking under pressure. Don't try it.
But
All
then,
right.
anyway, the hourglass really doesn't take an hour because they have some hourglasses in some games that finish in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta flip.
All right. How many letters did I say was in the alphabet?
I'm not even gonna repeat that.
Time I said alphabet now. I think that's the most funniest thing ever. Like, when you must be a quack. Say that.
What 5-letter word becomes shorter when you add 2 letters to it?
Ooh.
Short.
No.
And the 2 letters being
No.
ER.
Become shorter.
That's precisely why I'm saying this.
Ah, okay. Jamie's got it. It must be short. Yay! It was just funny how you say shorter. So yeah. As they say, what 5-letter word becomes shorter when you add 2 letters to it?
Yeah.
ER, shorter.
I'm not even excited about getting that one. Because I think we've lost so many already.
Okay, let me be excited for you. That one. Okay. This is a whole family, Jamie.
Clearly, your parents have 6 sons, including you, and each son has 1 sister. How many daughters do your parents have? Your parents have 6 sons, including you, and each son has 1 sister. How many daughters do your parents have? I would say 1.
But your parents have 6 sons, and each son has 1 daughter, isn't it? That each son give them a grandparent? So is it 7? Is it 6? Is it 7? Jamie says 1. I'm gonna say. So you're included in the 6, right?
Yes, you are.
Okay, and each son has a sister. 1 sister. Okay, Jamie, you're correct. I think it's 1.
Sadly, I'm waiting to see what the answer is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've thought it through, but I'm still waiting.
So 1. A lion and a volcano and an open door. Which door would you take? The door with the lion.
I'll be smarter and close all of them. How about that?
You're escaping a maze, and there are 3 doors in front of you. The door on the left leads to a pit of lava. The door in the center leads to a room filled with deadly gas. The door on the right leads to a lion that hasn't eaten in 3 months. Which door do you choose?
The one that you came through.
I'm gonna choose the door with the lion. He might be dead in 3 months. What do you think? The lava? Bit of lava? No. I ain't trying that.
Oh, that's why. But a person who was born in 2005 BC would still be alive. But a lion will be dead after 3 months.
He get no food. Imagine he looking so. Imagine if he was alive, right? You go in there, he can't even attack you because he's so frail. And you're seeing all the ribs and he's shaking and he's trying to come to you and he running big no more. So yeah, he would be dead.
Does anybody else understand what I just did? A person born in 2005 BC would still be alive today, but a lion would be dead after 3 months. Oh, that is a brain teaser.
Yes.
Okay, I take it.
Maybe we still have some immortals walking around. I figure the lion's gonna be dead, so let's go next. Because I'm not being suffocated by gas and I'm not stepping in a lava pit. I'll be dead. Yeah.
What is 3/7 chicken, 2/3 cat, and 2/4 goat?
A chicken. Wow. You heard that?
No.
A chicken. Chicken. A chicken, a cat, and a goat.
A chicken. Never mind. I'm not even going to say that.
Jamie, you're supposed to catch on like that.
I figure somebody's lunch. Like, what's on the menu?
But cat?
No idea.
Just have a kid. A lion. Does he eat all?
Did you put cat? No, you're not going to put cat on the menu. I take it back. Unless it's catfish.
Cat's on the menu. The cat's gonna eat the next cat. Because they fight in the wild. See? A dog's not gonna eat the next dog. He's gonna pop some
I'm
dogs.
sorry, a dog is not going to do it?
Dog's not gonna eat
Really? It depends on the dog, Hortense.
No. Even a pit bull won't even eat that.
Oh, no,
He'll
they'll
bite it up.
they'll
and
just
leave
eat humans.
But he won't eat the next one. Dogs are the sweetest and man's best friend.
Really? I don't know what this is.
Chicago. See, I had it, you know? What did you hear what I said? Chica oat. Chicago. I should have said it. Ah!
Wow. Okay.
I
Yeah.
thought along the lines, but listen, Quartense, you need to stop saying nonsense and just get to the point.
Are brain teasers designed to make you feel smarter or not?
Chicago.
That's a riddle in and of itself. I won't let you know how I'm feeling right now.
Ooh, good weaves. Y'all should have seen the side eye. I hope y'all saw that side eye that my co-host gave to me.
What are you talking about? A man describes his daughters saying they are all blonde but two, all brunette but two, and all redheaded but two. How many daughters does he have?
Describes his daughters saying they're all blonde.
Does he have 6 daughters?
Boy. Could be.
I don't know. That
But
doesn't
a
even make
man
sense to
describes
me.
his daughter saying they are all blonde, right?
Uh-huh.
But 2.
Yeah.
So how are they all blonde?
Well, that's his point.
Maybe he has 4?
He's giving you a count. 2 are not blonde, 2 are not brunette, and 2 are not redheaded.
And then they're just 2?
So 6. Although that doesn't make any sense to me either. I don't know anymore.
I would say 4. 3? Blonde, but they're all blonde.
That doesn't even make sense to me.
No, a man describes his daughter saying they're all blonde. So everybody here white or goldy white or whatever it is.
2 of them are not blonde,
All,
but doesn't mean that 1 is blonde. You get where I'm
but
going
2
with this?
all brunette.
But doesn't mean that
But
1
2
is
all
brunette.
redhead. But 2.
Yeah, all right.
No.
I tell you, so
The person that did that, we're coming to get you. Oh, let me keep this finger inside. Want somebody come get my finger?
back in a moment.
Cheers.
An exotic experience.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
no cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Aunt Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moen Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Guess what? It is time to let you know what is happening. First up, the St. Kitts Amateur Volleyball Association has opened registration for its Business Corporate League 6v6, right? Interested parties must register their league with a minimum of 4 players, a maximum of 6 players, and a clause that states that there must be at least 2 women on the court at all times. The registration fee is EC $500, and the registration deadline is on or before, well, it's going to be dead after this date. So dead on January 14th, 2023. That is the line. And guess what? I didn't hear you. Volley Fest will also take place on January 14th, where teams will go head-to-head, round-robin style. I love this. Volleyball, head-to-head. Kind of gives me football vibes, but anyway, I get the point. The league will officially begin the Thursday after Volley Fest, which is the 19th of January, and training will take place at the St. Kitts Marriott Dome every Thursday and Saturday. So if you are interested, register now.
So we have an avid volleyball player in the studio, and you should see his actions for volleyball, man. He's excited. I wish I could turn the camera. Should we?
Well, you can, but you might not be here tomorrow if you do, so I don't know. Hey, choose wisely.
CARICOM Energy Month is here, and this year's theme, Our Future is Electric, will explore how renewable energy and energy-efficient technologies can take us toward a sustainable, climate-resilient future for the Caribbean community. As part of their calendar of activities, they are hosting a short film contest and a photography contest. Both competitions are intended to engage young persons in the Caribbean community in telling the story of our sustainable energy transition. It creates an opportunity to view the CARICOM energy story through the eyes of the end user. Here are the competition guidelines. Entrants must submit an original photo capturing the essence of Caribbean energy. Entrants will be asked to provide the following information in the contest entry process: title of the photo, a brief description, 100 words, no more. Country where the photo was taken. Age categories, 15 to 24, 25 to 39, and 40 and over. Deadline for submission is the 30th of November 2022, so you have 2 more days. And all materials must be new and not published elsewhere. The competition is open to all professionals and amateur photographers. Entrants must be citizens of a CARICOM member state, including the association member states. The prizes are first place winners per age group. That's 15 to 24, you get $2,000 US. 25 to 39, you get $2,000 US. And 40 and over, the best age to be, you get $2,000. Why did you laugh? I want to know the joke too. You have to share everything.
The category, because you keep saying what middle age is, and I'm realizing that 40 and over is like the highest. So from 40, it goes downhill. All right, moving on. Sugar Mass opening. Calling all wanderers. Get ready for this Friday, December 2nd. Join a parade with the St. Kitts National Carnival Committee, starting from the National Museum, going into the Sugar Mass Wonderland at Carnival Village. It all starts at 5 p.m. So be enthralled by the performances of top bands, DJs, soca artists, calypsonians, folklore groups, dancers, and singers. And I'm guessing they're going to have a whole lot more. And guess what? I'm right. All the pageant contestants will be there too. So go experience the magic.
So it's like a pre-jam before the jam. So you just
it's something. And it's promising to be a great thing.
Indeed. Queen contestants.
Well, guess what? You love the Queen contestants?
Yep.
I'm loving the fact that we were with you today and that we're almost done. But before we do, naturally, we're going to say thank you. So thank you for tuning in daily to check us out on Good Morning SKN. Of course, we're here Mondays to Fridays from 8 to 10. You can also check us out online. We're on social media, right? So on YouTube at Studio 327 Inc., on Facebook at Studio 327 Inc., and on Instagram at Good Morning SKN. Remember to like, subscribe, follow, and share. And you know what? You guys have been doing that, so we're really grateful. You guys have been watching as well and leaving our comments and participating when we ask you to, and we do appreciate you. We see you, and we appreciate you. Check out our website as well at studio327inc.com.
And we hope that you got a little bit of something for you today, because here on Good Morning SKN, there's always a little bit of something for everyone. Leave us a comment. Remember, as Jamie says, subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 for our first anniversary come December the 6th. Yes.
That's very ambitious, by the way.
Go GMSKN Nation. Book. So leave us a comment and let us know what was your favorite part of today's show. And make Jamie bite his tongue when you subscribe. When you subscribe, yes, and we have 1,000 subscribers on December 6th. See you tomorrow, Tuesday at 8 a.m.
They don't want to see me bleed
when
pretensive.
you will start your morning with us right here at Good Morning SKN. You want to see Jamie, right? You want to see Corey,
You don't want to see me bleed at all. Bye. Have a great day. See you later.
Well, thanks for watching.